These are the new Galaxy Buds Plus, and they're Samsung's latest $150 true wireless earbuds. First, a quick disclaimer about the original Galaxy Buds, which I also have here. These are them, and they look a lot like these new ones, the Galaxy Buds Plus, but I didn't like them quite as much as some people thought I should. I did point out a few little things wrong with them. I didn't think they sounded quite as good as some of the top models out there. They were reasonably priced around $130, but a lot of people got these for free when they bought the Galaxy S10 models, so it's easier to like things when you didn't have to pay for them. These are great if you didn't have to pay for them. But now with the Galaxy Buds Plus, Samsung did make some improvements both to the performance of the sound and also as a headset. On the sound side, these guys have new drivers in them. They have dual drivers, so that means you get richer sound. There's also a new chip inside here, and that has enabled Samsung to say that the battery life is up to 11 hours. With these, it's really crucial to get a tight seal because that really allows you to get the better bass, that better sound isolation. And I will say about these is that the tips that came with the Buds didn't quite fit my ears perfectly, so I provided my own tips, so I cheated a little bit. So just a heads up, you may have to do a little shopping to find that perfect earbud, but that should really be for a small percentage of people because the earbuds that do come with these should fit the majority of people. The case does feel a little bit sturdier and just a little bit, you do feel like you're getting $20 more worth of earbuds when you buy these. There's a little bit of a smoother feel to opening and closing the case. And just to be clear, there is a battery inside this case, and you do get another 11 hours of battery life from the case when you recharge these on the go. These do use touch controls, and they are very responsive touch controls. Some might argue too responsive. You can program some of the functions. You can make each earbud do various things, including adjust the volume levels if you so choose. I will say that I did try to advance track, and it does take a little bit getting used to it. It's a double tap, and sometimes it turns into a triple tap, which actually makes your track go back instead of forward. So some people have complained that perhaps these are a little bit too responsive, but I did get used to it, and I did sort of perfect my double tapping. Samsung has released an iOS app, so this makes the Galaxy Buds Plus more Apple friendly. All in all, these are definitely a better option for Apple users, and they are a decent alternative to the AirPods. I'm talking about the standard AirPods, which cost around the same price. So these do sound a little bit better than those, particularly because these are noise isolating and they do have those dual drivers that give you the better bass. The one thing I also noticed about these compared to the original Galaxy Buds was that their wireless performance was a little bit better. Here in New York, you get a lot of interference when you walk in the streets, and sometimes that wireless connection glitches a little bit. With these, this was really a rock solid connection with these guys, not quite with the original Galaxy Buds, so I really appreciated that performance improvement. So one area where these haven't improved in terms of specs is their water resistance rating. These are IPX2, which means they are sweat resistant, but they're not super water resistant. So some people were hoping that these would get a little bit higher IPX rating, maybe an IPX4, IPX5, but that didn't happen this time. So let's get into the sound. These do have, as I said, two-way drivers. That means they have a woofer and a tweeter. That allows you to get a little bit better bass response than the originals. It's pretty good open sound, well balanced overall. There's a touch of presence boost. A lot of these headphones these days have a little bit treble boost to give you that little exciting sound, that clarity. Like the originals, these are tuned by AKG. That's a well-known Austrian audio company, at least it's well-known to audiophiles. Samsung bought Harman, which owned AKG, so now it gets that company to tune its earbuds, and it does seem to have made a nice impact. Overall, I would say that these are now definitely up a notch in terms of sound. If you're wondering, you can also tweak the EQ settings for these guys in an app. You can change the sound a little bit. There's a soft mode, there's a bass boost, there's a treble boost. The other thing worth noting is there is a transparency mode that allows sound from the outside world to go into the buds, and you can set it to off if you don't want it, or you can set it to medium or high. And also when you're making calls, you can adjust the level, and it's sort of like something like side tone, what they call it, where you can hear your voice in the earbuds, and that's on these earbuds, and that's a nice feature to have. Like a lot of other earbuds these days, these do have a quick charge feature. If you charge them for 3 minutes, you will get an hour of juice, so that's a good feature to have when your earbuds are dead and you need to go somewhere quickly. If you're looking for very small differences in terms of the design, these do weigh 0.7 grams more than the originals. I'm not going to try to compare these to every true wireless model out there in this price range, but there are a couple of notable competitors out there, namely the Jabra Elite 75T and Apple's AirPods Pro. So let's talk about these compared to the Jabras first. I will say that I think their sound is fairly similar. They both have decent, clean sound. There's perhaps slightly more detail in the Samsung, so I might give the Samsungs a slight edge in terms of sound, but they are very close. They're nice, well-balanced sound, clean, good bass. In terms of the design, I kind of like the Jabras slightly better. They nestle in my ear a little bit better. They're just a slightly more secure fit. The Jabras do have a little bit more water resistance, and they have physical controls. The buttons are physical controls instead of those touch controls, and I kind of prefer the physical controls, although to each his own. Some people might like the touch controls better. These do not have wireless charging, while the Samsungs do, so very similar score for both of these. All right, now the AirPods Pro. They are our editor's choice in the category, and really the key difference here is noise canceling. I would say that the Galaxy Buds Plus actually sound slightly better than these AirPods Pro, but the issue is with the noise canceling. When you're walking around the streets of New York City, you do get decent noise isolation with the Galaxy Buds Pro, but that little bit extra of active noise canceling does make a difference with the AirPods. If you're going on a subway, if you're in any noisy environment, I know some of you don't live in New York necessarily, but if you're in any noisy environment, the noise canceling does make a difference. When you're traveling on a plane, the active noise canceling of the AirPods Pro definitely does make a difference. I have worn these both on the plane, and I did prefer wearing the AirPods Pro. All in all, I do think Samsung has made the necessary upgrades to the sound, to the headset performance, to the battery life. I do think the one thing that is missing is active noise canceling. That is a feature that will be found in a lot of true wireless earbuds this year. Perhaps we will see it down the road in a Galaxy Buds Pro. So what do you guys think? Is active noise canceling a deal breaker or not? Let me know in the comment section below.